in the studio to help make a breakthrough program. Our set is sort of a courtroom. We have a jury, a team of idea challengers, a team of idea defenders, a friend of the court, Ernest Dixon. He's here to help us in case we get into any trouble. And me, I'm kind of a referee and judge. I keep order. We're going to see part one of a story. Then our challengers and defenders will wage a battle of ideas about what we're going to see. Okay, here's a story of a boy who didn't know he was a thief.
I know, Mr. Grogan, you're new, and naturally this is upsetting. But it's upsetting to all of us.
Mr. Reed, I've talked to the teachers. I've even addressed the assembly. Students really are much better about getting overdue books back.
Mr. Grogan, overdue books don't bother me at this point. Those I can account for. What I'm talking about are books just gone without any record. How do you suggest I explain that to the superintendent?
I don't know.
Look. This special inventory shows 27 books missing, and not a one is checked out to anybody. Mr. Grogan, they didn't just walk out of here.
Mr. Reed, I don't know what else I can do.
27. You'd think they were carrying them out in supermarket carts. A 3-volume set, gone. Wandering Warriors. What are those books?
It's a history of Spanish explorers.
Spanish explorers? Well, can you think of any students interested in that subject?
Sure, I can think about 100 or so students.
That hardly seems likely.
Mr. Reed, since that new movie hit town, it's hard to find a student who isn't interested in Spanish explorers.
Oh. Well, the superintendent wants this stealing stopped. I'll see you first thing Monday for a report.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. I didn't see you standing there.
It's okay.
Just a minute, Frank. I have to check the briefcase. It's a new rule.
But only my school books are in it.
That won't hurt to check it, will it? Okay.
I forgot. My sister asked me to get her a book.
Oh, just a minute, Frank. Why don't you leave the briefcase here? We just checked it out. Why don't you leave the briefcase?
Okay. But I'm no thief. Hi, Frank. Hi, Mike. Going home? Yeah. I'll walk you.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Fine, thanks, Mr. Grogan. How are you?
I've got my troubles. It's good to see you. Say, Mike, those two Jules Verne books, they They were due back on the 22nd. That was 3 days ago.
Well, I planned to return them. Then I got to reading them some more. And, well, you know.
I know. Get them back on Monday morning, will you, please?
Mr. Grogan, can I help you repair bindings again sometime soon?
Sure. I'll see what I can do. Frank, did you get that book you were looking for?
No. I mean, I couldn't find it. Mike, wait up. Frank, what do you want? You never walked me home. Well, I tell you. I figure I've been neglecting my education. I need more reading. That's what everybody's telling me. Every hour in the hour. How many books you taken? You saw me check out, too. Come on, what do you think, I'm blind? I gotta wash my mom's waiting. I watched you in there, and I thought to myself, that's Michael Rogers, prize student. The whole school's supposed to pay attention when they post his grades. And what's he doing? Stealing books. I checked him out. Sure. And you don't even get asked to show your new book. Me, they treat me like a thief. I checked out every book you could ask. Don't make me. Go. Okay, wise guy, okay. We agreed, didn't we, Mom?
Well, the doctor said I should move about a little.
I know, but he also said you're supposed to rest a lot. And Dad said I'm supposed to take care of you.
I wish he'd call.
He called yesterday, so he'll call tomorrow. Every other day, he said.
You miss him, don't you, Mike?
Only about as much as you.
Well, let's just put things away for now. Maybe you'd like to read to me.
Sure. I got a great new book from the library.
How many books did they let you take out at a time? Mrs. Radden told me yesterday when she was cleaning your room that you need more bookshelves.
Mom, I don't want her up there snooping in my things.
Michael, Mrs. Radden isn't snooping.
I told her I'd rather take care of my own room.
Well, all right, Michael. But I thought you liked Mrs. Radden.
Well,
What is it, Mike?
nothing, Mom. I'd just rather handle my own things, that's all. Is there anything so funny about that?
All right, Mike.
Come on. Mom, when you were my age, did you like books?
Well, they were important to me.
No. I mean more than that. There's so many things in books. I mean, you open a book and bang! There's a whole new world just waiting for you to explore it.
What book do you have, Mike?
It's a story of the Spanish conquest of Mexico. Mom, did you know they fought a naval battle at Mexico City on a lake that's 1.5 miles above sea level?
No, I didn't.
Cortez and his men built these little ships on the other side of the mountains. Then they tore them apart, and men carried the pieces across the mountains. They went through a pass that was 10,000 feet high, carrying ships. Here it is. They call it the Pass of Cortez. Paseo de Cortez.
Mike?
They put the ships together again on Lake Texcoco. From there they could attack Tenochtitlan. That's what Mexico City was called then.
Mike, there's someone at the door.
Oh, I'll get it, Mom. Frank, what are you doing here?
Who is it, Mike?
Don't you remember, Mike? You asked me to come do my homework with you. I did not. Boy, you must have a short memory.
Hello. You're Frank Denham, aren't you? How are you?
Fine, I hope I'm not busting in on you, but Mike asked me to come do homework with him.
Oh, well, I think it's nice for Mike to have someone help him.
Oh, it isn't to help him. It's to help me. Maybe we better get started, huh, Mike? I need a lot of help. We'll be in my room for a while, Mom.
All right, you run along.
You call if you need anything.
Thanks, Mike. I'll make some hot chocolate, and we can have it later.
What do we start with? Social studies, arithmetic, spelling? Wow! Must be worth a couple of $100. You're some operator, kid. How's your science? Fine, how's yours? How about an arithmetic problem? Here's a good one. If a plane went from San Francisco to New York... Listen, genius, I'm no dummy. We're not all stupid. Well, I just thought, sometimes people aren't as good at some things. I know one thing Michael Rogers is good at. Frank, I don't get this. What do you want to fight with me for? Yeah, I know something everybody's darling is real hot at. Stealing. In this course, you get 100. Straight A+. I'm not a thief! Look, what do you know? No checkout. And there's another one. And another. Boy, somebody must have made a big mistake. There are 2 checked out. Tell me, genius, which came first, the lying or the stealing? It's not stealing, they're books, not money. And my folks telling me like I'm nothing. Telling me why can't I be like Michael Rogers? Such a nice boy, such good grades, so well-mannered. And me, everything I do, they never see the good things. But you, they rave about. Frank, they're just books. Nobody's getting hurt. It's not stealing. You got some better name for it? No? And I'll tell you. Seeing you're so good at this, I got a little job for you. There's a store. You know, the new hi-fi joint on 8th Street? They got a neat transistor with a built-in clock. I thought maybe you'd like to go in there and pick it up for me. For you, it should be easy. You got the honest look. I do it myself. But I'm the type nobody trusts. One look at me, and they think thief. I'll give you my transistor. All it needs is new batteries. No deal. I want the one in the hi-fi joint, and I want to see you get it for me. You know, they could give you 20 years if they happen to find out about you stealing these books. I wouldn't steal anything. It's just that I like books. Boy, do you like books. Frank, a library's a public place. The books belong to everybody. It's not like taking something that belongs to a person. Sure, just like the transistor. It belongs to the store, not the clerk. I only meant to keep them a little while. You never brought back one, did you? Sure I did, but not lately, did you? Sit down, kid. Let me tell you how it's going to be. First, you got to case the joint. Please, Frank, listen. I'll meet you out front of the place tomorrow afternoon. It's always crowded on Saturdays. Whatever you do in there, don't panic. Slow and easy. Frank! You get the lay of the place and figure how you're going to get the transistor. Go on, don't be scared. Relax, this is only a practice run. On Monday, it's the real thing. Just remember everything I told you.
help you with something?
No, thanks. I'm just looking. You're doing all right, chicken. You're doing all right. Frank, this is crazy. I can't do it. I just can't go in there and pick that thing up. It's, well, like stealing a car or something. Or like stealing a book, maybe. I'll see you Monday, chicken. Monday. I'm going to the moon. What are you doing here so early, chicken? I'm turning these 2 overdue books if it's any of your business. Not before we make some plans for this afternoon. Frank, leave me alone. You want everybody to know? Why are you doing this to me? You tell me. I mean, you're the smart one. The one who gets all the applause. The one who gets trusted. I can't help what I am. But maybe you're not so much smarter than me after all. Smart guys don't get caught. Frank, you gotta understand. I'm not a thief. You are now. You got caught. Okay, challengers and defenders, you've got 30 seconds more to prepare. Here's how it works. The challengers will ask questions. Then the defenders will have to come up with answers, real answers. Then the jury will bring in a verdict. They'll decide which team did the best job. All right, challengers, what is your first question? Why do you think Mike thought it was okay to steal the books and not the radio? Well, because he thought that the books were public property and he was just borrowing them for a little while. Where the radio belonged to the store and it had to be bought. And then, so if you're stealing it, it was just like stealing that amount of money. Well, what is stealing? Well, I think stealing is when you, well, in this instance, it is, well, even borrowing indefinitely without permission.
Well, I think there's another thing in that, because I think that you have to be conscious of stealing before it becomes stealing to you. So you have to know that you're stealing before you think it is yourself.
Well, maybe he thought he was just borrowing. What do you think about that?
Yes,
I think he did.
He didn't realize he was stealing. He thought he was just
He
borrowing.
thought he
whereas
was just
anybody
borrowing.
else-
Well, is there a difference between borrowing and stealing?
Yes, because well, actually he wasn't really borrowing. Borrowing, you should get permission from a person.
If you were in Mike's place and you had been caught after stealing these books, what would you have done?
Well, I think I would, rather than going to doing what Frank said, I think I would say, okay, go ahead. And in fact, I think if this is really stealing, I am going to tell him that I have been doing wrong and return the books. I think this is what I would do, and I think this is what Mike should have done.
I think he should give them back himself, because if he does that, people will think a lot more of him than if somebody told on him.
What reasons would you have for doing this?
Well, just one of them Bob just said. People, a lot of the time, you can get off a little easier if you admit it yourself rather than getting caught. And people like you better if you are honest and if you admit your wrongs. Why do you think it's wrong to steal, Mary?
Well, if you think of stealing as taking something without permission and without, paying for it in some way, I think it's wrong to take something that doesn't belong to you, unless, of course, you've been told that you can.
I think it's wrong for a couple of reasons. One is it hurts yourself, because one small thing taken might lead to something bigger and bigger and bigger, and you just get yourself into more trouble. And of course, the obvious reason is it deprives other people of things they want and they've earned.
What do you think the stealing is going to do to Mike? Well, how is it going to affect him? If this goes on happening, he's going to, he'll get better at it, and eventually, though, he's going to get kind of like, it's going to be hard for him to earn money, and he's going to want to steal things. And it's going to get harder and harder for him to take things as he gets older, because, I know a lot of the time, they watch teenagers more than they watch grammar school children about stealing, because they figure usually they aren't doing this.
I feel that probably their mothers and fathers would provide just about anything that they really need that badly.
Well, how do you think this stealing is going to affect Mike's relations with his parents and with the school?
Well, I think, as we said before, it's going to really hurt his reputation, and I think his parents are going to feel very sorry. Now, maybe if he admits this, people will maybe see a bright spot or something on...
I think his parents are going to be a lot more hurt than his reputation, because they've been looking up to him all this time, and they've been feeling how proud he is, and then all of a sudden he does something like this, and they'd be let down.
Well, it seems to me that maybe parents will feel disappointed in not only Mike, but themselves, because after all, it's their responsibility to teach him about stealing, and apparently they haven't very well, or he wouldn't have done it.
Although maybe they taught him about stealing, but they taught him the wrong way. They taught him that you shouldn't go out and take money or something like that, but they never really taught him that it's not right to take anything without permission.
Do you think that it's right and Frank to do this to Mike?
No, I think part of the reason that he's doing it is that Frank is sort of jealous of Mike because of his good grades and everything, and now Mike's the one that's taking the books and Frank's the one that's getting blamed for it.
If you were in Frank's place and you'd seen Mike take the books, what would you have done?
Well, it's kind of hard to say.
Mike has been wrongly taking books, but I think I might also try to tell the librarian that he didn't really realize that he was doing something wrong, and that maybe he should just be taught more that just even borrowing without permission is considered stealing.
Do you think if you stole something in your conscience, brother, you paid for it, and you even showed him what you stole and then you paid for it, do you think this would be as good as just buying it regularly, or what?
No, I don't think it's going to be as good as buying it regularly, because if you know you did steal it, it is wrong. You are committing a crime. And in fact, I don't think they would even let you just pay for it and have that be over with.
Well, it depends on who it belongs to. If it's a personal item like a necklace, or... Well, I mean something that's in a store. I don't mean like you take it from somebody's house.
I don't think they let you. Time's up. We'll ask the jury to decide on their verdict while the rest of us see how the movie turned out. Gotta take in these books. Fine. I'll just go along.
Mr. Grogan, I thought I made myself very clear on Friday. The superintendent wants a report of some definite plan to stop this book stealing.
Mr. Reed, I've done everything I can.
Maybe you're just too easygoing, too trusting.
Mr. Reed, I just can't start thinking that every student that comes in is a thief.
Well, at least one of them is a thief, you know. Frankly, Mr. Grogan, I don't think you fully realize the implications of all this.
Are you trying to tell me that I might lose my job?
I wasn't saying that, but I suppose it could happen. What I meant was, every time you let this thief get away with a book, you're letting him get one step deeper.
Mr. Reed, I've got something to say.
Michael, you're going to have to excuse us.
I told him not to bother you now, sir. It's been me.
It's been you what?
I took the books, Mr. Grogan.
I know you better than that, Mike. Thanks for wanting to help me, but it's my problem.
Come on, Mike, we better get back to class. It was only one or two at a time. First, I always brought them back later. But then there were some I didn't want to give up, and some others. I got them all at home. I was planning to bring them back.
When, Mike?
I don't know.
Well, Mr. Grogan, I'll leave it to you to make certain those books get back here today. And I want to see you later, young man. This is a very serious thing. Right now, I'm going to explain things to the superintendent.
Mike, I know how you feel about books, but
I'm sorry, Mr. Grogan.
why, Mike? Why?
Guess I didn't think it was stealing. Never thought about it that way. But I guess it's as much stealing as...
Wait a minute, Frank.
Mike.
Are you involved in this?
No, sir. Frank didn't have anything to do with... He didn't have anything to do with the books.
All right, Frank, you better go to class.
Yes, sir. I'll see you tomorrow, huh, Mike? Sure. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Frank. Will the challengers and the defenders please rise and face the jury? Have you reached your verdicts? Yes. How say you? The defenders have 5 votes and the challengers have 3 votes. Thank you for your verdicts. Does a friend of the court have any comment to make on the verdict or the discussion?
Billy, I'd like to add one thing to our discussion. In the film, Mike Steelan got between him and his mother. They reached a point where they couldn't talk with each other anymore. He became angry when she spoke to him. And you know, it's hard to be close to someone when you're dishonest with them, when you feel that you have to hide a part of your life from them. When we steal, not only are we cheating those from whom we steal, but we're cheating ourselves of the love and close relationship of our family and our friends who help us grow and become good persons. You know, we Christians believe that our relationship to Jesus Christ and the God he reveals is dependent upon our relationship to our family and friends. So for the sake of our relationship to the persons we love, I don't believe we should steal.
That's it for today. You might want to go on talking about it. That's what we'll be doing. This is Billy Brown. I'll see you next week on Breakthrough. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask?
I do.